Another day, another story. The Temple of Artemis, also known as the Temple of Diana, was one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. It was dedicated to the goddess Artemis and stood in the ancient city of Ephesus, near present-day Selçuk in Turkey. The story of the Temple of Artemis is intertwined with mythology, history, and architectural marvel. Welcome to Tabo Eminent Channel. Mythological connection. The origins of the Temple of Artemis are rooted in Greek mythology. Artemis, the goddess of the hunt, wilderness, and wild animals, was one of the 12 Olympian deities. The temple was built in her honor, and the site chosen was believed to be sacred to Artemis. Construction and destruction. The construction of the Temple of Artemis began around 550 BCE during the reign of Croesus, the king of Lydia. It took about 120 years to complete and was designed by the Greek architect Gershon and his son Metagenes. The temple was an impressive structure with a unique blend of Ionic and Corinthian architectural styles. Unfortunately, the temple suffered several setbacks throughout its existence. The first temple was destroyed by a flood in 356 BCE, the night Alexander the Great was born. According to some accounts, the destruction was a deliberate act by an arsonist named Herostratus, who sought fame by destroying the renowned temple. Reconstruction. Despite its destruction, the people of Ephesus were determined to rebuild the temple. Reconstruction efforts were led by the architects Dionysius and Paeonius, and with the financial support of Alexander the Great, the new temple rose from the ruins. The reconstructed temple was even more magnificent than its predecessor. Architecture and features. The Temple of Artemis was an architectural marvel, known for its grandeur and size. It featured 127 columns, each standing about 60 feet tall. The temple's dimensions were approximately 377 feet by 180 feet, making it larger than most contemporary temples. The interior of the temple housed a statue of Artemis, crafted by the renowned sculptor Praxiteles. Cultural and religious significance. The Temple of Artemis served as a center for religious worship, drawing pilgrims from various parts of the ancient world. It became a symbol of the wealth and cultural achievements of the city of Ephesus. The temple also served as a treasury and a place to display valuable offerings from devotees. Final destruction. The final blow to the Temple of Artemis came in 262 CE when it was destroyed by the Goths during their invasion of Ephesus. The temple was never rebuilt after this destruction, and its remnants were gradually quarried for other construction projects over the centuries. Today, only a few ruins and columns remain at the site of the Temple of Artemis in Ephesus, offering a glimpse into the grandeur and significance of this ancient wonder. While the physical structure may be lost to time, the story of the Temple of Artemis continues to captivate historians, archaeologists, and enthusiasts interested in the ancient world. Cult of Artemis. The Temple of Artemis was not just a physical structure but also a center for the worship of Artemis, attracting devotees and pilgrims from different regions. The cult of Artemis at Ephesus was particularly renowned, and the temple played a crucial role in the religious and cultural life of the city. The goddess Artemis was often depicted with multiple breasts, symbolizing fertility and nurturing aspects, emphasizing her role as a protector of women and children. Wealth and grandeur. The city of Ephesus prospered, in part due to the economic benefits derived from the temple. Pilgrims and visitors brought offerings, and the temple itself served as a treasury for various treasures and donations. The wealth accumulated in and around the temple contributed to the city's status as a significant economic and cultural hub in the ancient world. Famous works of art. Inside the Temple of Artemis, there were numerous works of art, including the renowned statue of Artemis sculpted by Praxiteles. This statue was said to be adorned with multiple rows of breasts and stood as a testament to the artistic achievements of the time. Unfortunately, with the temple's destruction, many of these artistic treasures were lost to history. Connection to Alexander the Great. The rebuilding of the temple was made possible in part due to the financial support of Alexander the Great. Legend has it that when Alexander visited Ephesus and saw the ruins of the temple, he offered to finance its reconstruction. The people of Ephesus, grateful for his gesture, inscribed his name on the rebuilt temple. Legacy and influence. Despite its physical demise, the Temple of Artemis left a lasting legacy. The description of the temple and its grandeur by ancient historians and writers, including Strabo and Pliny the Elder, has contributed to its enduring fame. The Seven Wonders of the Ancient World, a list compiled by ancient Greek scholars, included the Temple of Artemis as one of the most remarkable and awe-inspiring structures. Archaeological discoveries. Excavations at the site of the Temple of Artemis have revealed various artifacts, fragments of sculptures, and inscriptions that provide valuable insights into the religious practices and cultural significance of the temple. The ruins of the temple are now part of the archaeological site of Ephesus, attracting tourists and scholars alike. The Temple of Artemis remains a symbol of the ancient world's architectural and cultural achievements, even though the physical structure is no longer standing. Its story continues to captivate those interested in history, archaeology, and the fascinating tales of the classical era. Multiple reconstructions. The Temple of Artemis went through multiple reconstructions over the centuries, each iteration more impressive than the last. The original temple, funded by King Croesus of Lydia, was a marvel, but after its destruction, subsequent rulers and architects were determined to surpass its grandeur. The various reconstructions highlight the temple's cultural and religious importance to the people of Ephesus. Sacred Grove. The temple was situated within a sacred grove, adding to its allure. The grove was a place of tranquility and reflection, creating a serene environment for worshippers and pilgrims. The entire sanctuary was not just a religious center but also a natural haven dedicated to the goddess Artemis. Integration of local and foreign influences. The architecture of the Temple of Artemis reflects a fusion of local and foreign influences. The Ionian style of architecture was predominant, but with each reconstruction, elements of other Greek architectural styles were incorporated. The temple's adaptability and incorporation of diverse influences showcased the cosmopolitan nature of Ephesus as a major ancient city. Cultural exchange. Ephesus, where the temple stood, was a melting pot of cultures due to its strategic location as a port city. The Temple of Artemis became a symbol of this cultural exchange, attracting not only Greek worshippers but also people from various regions who brought their customs, beliefs, and offerings to the goddess. Surviving columns and fragments. Despite the temple's destruction, some of its columns and architectural fragments have survived and can be seen in the archaeological site of Ephesus. These remnants offer glimpses into the once towering and magnificent structure, allowing visitors to imagine its former glory. Role in the ancient economy. The Temple of Artemis played a significant role in the economy of Ephesus. Pilgrims and visitors from different parts of the ancient world brought offerings and gifts to the temple. The city benefited from the influx of people and the economic transactions associated with the temple, contributing to its prosperity. Artemis as a multifaceted deity. The worship of Artemis at the temple reflected the multifaceted nature of the goddess. In addition to her role as a huntress, Artemis was also considered a protector of women, particularly during childbirth. The temple's religious practices and rituals encompassed a wide range of aspects associated with Artemis's mythology. Decline and abandonment. After the final destruction of the temple by the Goths in 262 CE, the site was largely abandoned. The decline of Ephesus as a major city further contributed to the neglect of the temple ruins. Over time, the once mighty Temple of Artemis faded from prominence. The Temple of Artemis stands as a testament to the rich history and cultural significance of Ephesus in the ancient world. Its story is not only one of architectural marvel but also a narrative woven with religious devotion, cultural exchange, and the ever-changing fortunes of a once great city. Religious festivals. The Temple of Artemis was not just a static structure but a focal point for various religious festivals and celebrations. The most notable of these was the Artemisia festival, dedicated to the goddess. Pilgrims from different parts of the Mediterranean would converge on Ephesus to participate in these festivals, contributing to the city's vibrant cultural tapestry. Struggle for control. Throughout its existence, The region around Ephesus and the Temple of Artemis became a coveted prize for various empires and powers. Control over Ephesus and its revered temple shifted among the Lydians, Persians, Greeks, and Romans. Each conqueror left its mark on the city and the temple, influencing its architectural style and cultural practices. Cultural significance in literature. The Temple of Artemis found its way into various literary works of antiquity. Notable ancient writers, such as Strabo, Pliny the Elder, and Pausanias, described the temple in their works, adding to its mystique and contributing to its fame. These writings serve as crucial sources of information for modern historians and archaeologists. Temples as economic engines. Temples in ancient times were not only centers of worship but also economic powerhouses. The Temple of Artemis was no exception. The economic activities around the temple, including trade, offerings, and associated businesses, played a pivotal role in the prosperity of Ephesus. Influence on later architecture. The grandeur and innovative design of the Temple of Artemis had a lasting impact on subsequent architectural endeavors. Elements of its design, such as the use of columns in the overall layout, influenced the construction of other temples and structures in the ancient world. Legends and miracles. Like many ancient temples, the Temple of Artemis was associated with various legends and purported miracles. Devotees believed in the healing powers of the temple and sought divine intervention for various ailments. Miraculous events attributed to the goddess Artemis were woven into the fabric of the temple's lore. Rediscovery and archaeological excavations. The site of the Temple of Artemis was largely forgotten over the centuries. Its rediscovery in the 19th century sparked renewed interest in classical archaeology. Archaeological excavations, led by individuals such as John Turtlewood, brought to light the remnants of the temple and provided valuable insights into its construction and history. Modern recognition. Although the Temple of Artemis no longer stands in its full glory, its significance has endured. In 2015, the Temple of Artemis was included in the UNESCO World Heritage Site of Ephesus, recognizing its historical and cultural importance. The story of the Temple of Artemis is a multifaceted narrative that encompasses religion, politics, architecture, and cultural exchange. It has left an indelible mark on the historical landscape of the ancient world, and its legacy continues to captivate scholars and enthusiasts alike. Thanks for watching. Request you to subscribe the channel.